Hey, we live, Jay. Mike, Bruce, wide body Mike. Strace Cardon, you guys know it. All right, Joe, we're gonna give some updates. What's up, Brandon? All right, Asher. Oh, what's going on? We'll give it another minute or two, and then we'll give an update on Shake and Bake, which is not necessarily a good one right now, but we'll give you an update. All right, Shark Bait, what's going on, buddy? APG, what's happening? Alex, what's going on, man? We got all kinds of people in the chat tonight. What's happening? Hey, no problem. I understand, man. Life is life. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I get it. Ant, what's happening, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. And I may need some insights from you guys here. So we'll see what happens. Shakes, maybe bacon, but cooking not so much. Hey, all right, what's going on, Lorenzo? All right, so let's do this. I see the chat's filling up fast. So what I'm going to do is we'll go over where I'm at with Shake and Bake with the issues we're having, and then I'll get into the chat and start answering people's questions. And I'm sure if it's a technical question, my guys from the IG chat will probably answer it before I get there. But here's where we are with Shake and Bake. It's kind of bit of a weird situation, but it is what it is. So while I was in Tennessee, I took the car to Mac and Dave to get the car dialed in 100% because we were going to have a grudge race against another 5.7 Hemi with somewhat similar setup. He's got a bigger blower and a bigger intercooler is the big difference. But we were going to do that at the Modern Street Hemi Shootout 2 weeks from now. But that's not going to happen. And here's kind of why. So when I dropped the car off with Mac and Dave, the intent was to get the trans dialed in to the power it's making with a load, right? So everything was fine when it was on the dyno. But when we got to the track, I was having some trans issues. So they were supposed to work those out while I was gone. Well, for whatever reason, so those last two runs at Cecil, I had the one good run without ice, and then the iffy run I had with ice. That's what they were supposed to fix. So the car was running good on that first run. Looked at the logs, nothing wrong. Everything was good. Everything was straight. Then we ran into the trans issue on the second one. So when I dropped the car off with Mac and Dave, they went out and did some street hits, and it was just acting a fool on them. It was just acting all kinds of funky. So boost was going up and down, in and out. It was bouncing around anywhere from 5 to 7 to 15, 16. So it was bouncing around in boost. The AFR was bouncing around. Wasn't acting like it should. And Max said it was pulling timing. This wasn't feeling right. And that's I'm pretty sure they were running it with no ice, because we had that good run with no ice. So they wanted to dial it in there, and then they were going to be two tunes, one without ice, one with ice. So that being said, we are back to having the cam position errors that we had when we were on the dyno. So if you remember back on the dyno, when we hit the 971, we were having cam position issues. where it was flipping 10 degrees the wrong way. So we thought we had that fixed by replacing the VVT solenoid on the top of the engine, literally underneath the intake manifold. So we replaced that with another one, and that's when we dialed it in the dyno. He did 5 or 6 pulls, dialed it back in, everything was fine. Went to Cecil, everything was fine. Drop it off, drop it off with them, and all goes to hell in a handbasket. So bottom line, what we're doing now is we're ordering a new cam. Well, the current cam is still running VVT, and it's phase limited. So what we're doing now is Mac is getting me a custom grind that is designed to be locked instead of limited, so we can pretty much, for the most part, take VVT out of the equation. We think that's what the problem is they're having a tough time dialing it in while it's on the VVT. So bottom line is we're ordering a new cam, ordered a new cam today. No telling on how long it'll take them to grind the cam and get it back to us. So may not hit the Modern Street Hemi Shootout in 2 weeks. So Mac is backed up with a lot of things. So if the cam does come in, it's going to take me going down to Fredericksburg and doing a cam swap, with me doing a majority of the work and him just giving me some guidance to work me through getting it in there correctly. So that's where we stand. We're getting a new cam and installing it, and then we'll have to dial it back in again on the dyno. So can we get that done in the next week and a half? I'm guessing probably not. Probably not. There's an outside chance cam comes in quicker than expected. I can get down there, do the work, do the swap, get Dave to get it on the dyno, dial it in should be able to dial it in fairly quickly, and then we possibly make it. Just all depends how fast that cam comes in. So I don't know if anyone else has had those issues, but if you have had those issues, please chime in, and we'll see. Because I don't think it's the solenoid again. I have a hard time thinking that the solenoid's bad. We talked about the cam sensor. Mac and I kind of talked through it. I know, Mike, you talked about the cam sensor. We think the cam sensor's working because it is giving indications on where the cam is at. But it still possibly could be the cam sensor too. So it could be a lot of things. Obviously, the solenoid could have gone bad again. It could be the solenoid. That's the easiest fix to try. And I think what I'm going to do is send one down to Mac and have him put it in and just check it real quick and see if it does the same thing. But my only issue with that is it fixed it last time, and now it's back again. So I'm thinking it's not the solenoid. Could it be the limiter? Could it be the cam gear, the phaser itself? It could be a lot of things. So, and Mike, to your point, I may very well get a new the entire phaser as well, just to roll that out. That the phaser's going bad. It could be many things. So we're just trying a few different things to try and figure out kind of what it is. So that's where I'm at with Shake and Bake. I'll get down into the chat here in a second. But that's kind of where we're at. So we're kind of on hold and until that cam comes in. So there's where we're at, folks, with Shake and Bake. And these are stray scar problems, man. This is what happens when you get into this. You know, Mike will tell you, Jay will tell you, um, uh, Ant, shit my Hellcat says, he'll tell you. You get to this power level, stuff is gonna break, stuff's gonna go wrong, and it is what it is. But I am gonna make a video on where we're at on Shake and Bake, so that'll probably be the next video. Um, you know, maybe tomorrow night or Friday. I'll get up a video and then see if I can't come up with some filler videos until we can get back in Shake and Bake and get down the track. So there we are. Let me get to some of the chat here. All right, so we already got Wide Body Jay, Mike, Bruce, Joe, Brandon, Asher, Shark Bait. What's going on? Don, what's your opinion on a Hellcat engine swap and an RT? Nothing. I mean, yeah, absolutely, you could do it. The only thing, you know, when you do that Hellcat engine swap, the HP70 is going to be your limiting factor. Limiting factor, especially if you want to do anything to that Hellcat engine once you throw it in an RT. Your transmission is gonna be your limiting factor at that point. So then you're looking at getting, you know, an HP90, and they're not cheap. I mean, a Hellcat engine's not cheap either. But yeah, absolutely, you can do a Hellcat engine swap. You know, it's a great idea. Matter of fact, if Ant's still in the chat, he's sort of doing that very thing with a charger he bought. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing a Hellcat engine swap in an RT, 100%. And you'd probably still be cheaper than a Hellcat, cheaper than buying a new Hellcat. That's for sure, because new Hellcats are ridiculous. APG Alex, what's going on? Mike's talking to Jay. There's Ant. Yeah, Brandon, I gave you the bad news. We're down for a little bit. All right, Lorenzo, long live the Hemi, man. What's it like driving a forged Hemi? It's great, really. I mean, arguably, I'm more on the race car side of race car, especially when it comes to all the suspension stuff I've done and the solid engine mounts. So everything is a lot stiffer. So if you go down the road and you stiffen up your suspension and you do the solid engine mounts, be prepared for things to be stiffer, and you're gonna feel a lot more of the road. You're gonna feel a lot more of those potholes. Depending on where you live. If you got a lot of potholes, be prepared. You're gonna feel much more of those potholes than you did with the stock suspension, for sure. So be ready if you go down this road. I try and warn people. I made the video before you go down this road. Make sure it's the road you want to go down. But yeah, it's great, man. I love it. Driving Shake and Bake is a lot of fun. Bruce, is one rear axle thicker than the other on a sure grip rear? Good question. I don't know, but I know I'll probably screw this up. I think it's the driver's side is on a Hellcat and a right eye. The driver's side is thicker than the passenger side, if I'm not mistaken. I may have that backwards. One is thicker than the other, and they're two different part numbers. But when it comes to a sure grip rear, I'm not sure, Bruce. Ah, see, there's Jay. The driver's side is thicker. That's what I thought. So Timothy's saying it sounds like TC stuff, but it but it shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not locked out. It's right now. It's limited. Um, learning from the Honda boys. I got you, Timothy. So yeah, it's not fully locked out. It's phase limited. What we're going to is to lock it in place, and hopefully we still make good power. So when you lock the cam, some depending on where the cam locks, um, and this is my rudimentary learning at this point, just talking to Mac and make making things make sense in Don's brain. Depending on where the cam locks, we could lose power, we could make the same power, we could make more power. It just all depends. Hey, Track Pack, what's going on, brother? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So I called MMX before we did it, and I said, is this cam designed to be locked or limited? And they came back and said limited. So that's what I went with. So we could, back to kind of my point, we could lock the current cam, but depending, talking to Mac and Mike and Jay and Ant, you guys can chime in. Depending on where that cam is locked, whether it's in advanced timing or on the other end, we could be losing 50, 60, maybe more horsepower by locking in that cam. So the hope is we get a cam designed to be locked out, and we at least keep roughly the same power and hopefully don't lose too much. So that's the plan. Yeah, Bruce, I get it. They're not hard, like you said. It's just place, time, and the right tool, and the right tools. So that's literally why I'll go down to Fredericksburg to EFI Specialties and do the swap there. Wide body, you're right, man. All of us have unique issues, that's for sure. Yeah, so this will be my first time digging this far into the engine. I know I learned quite a bit helping Mike put the forged engine together and putting it in. But now trying to do things while it's in the car, it'll be my first time trying that. So it'll be a learning experience, and at least I'll have someone experienced watching over me while I do it, and I'm not trying to do it in my front yard. I got you, Ant. I got you, Ant. That's the way forward. That's definitely the way forward. I Mike, I did have him check the cam sensor. That seemed to be fine. I'll ping Mac again and have him check the crank sensor to make sure it's right too. All right, Jay. Hey, I appreciate the support, buddy. I will let you know. I'll let you know when the can comes in, Jay, and then maybe we can coordinate something that we can be down there at the same time. But I'll definitely let you know. I got you, Mike. I'll have him double check it. I'll have him double check both those sensors again, or at least I'll ask him to. I jump in, but probably get fired. All right, Bruce. I appreciate the support, man. I really do. All right, Alex got a question. I also have a RT 6 speed. Currently have a full bolt on, and now at the shop having drop in pistons, including cam now because of your issue. Do I wait until I get boost? Six speed, currently full bolt on, and now at the shop having drop ins and rods installed, including cam. Now, because of my issue, do I wait till you get boost? No, you can go ahead and forge it now. While you're still NA. No, you can, Alex. Go ahead. I would have them do everything now. That way, you're prepared when you do get boost. I think you're fine. I think you're fine doing everything now. That's just my opinion. Someone may chime in down below, but Alex, I think you're good doing it all now. Oh God, I dropped. I dropped down too far. All right, here we go. Trek Pack had a similar issue. Ended up locking out VVT. Yep, that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Hugh, thanks for chiming in, buddy. Good to see you again. Thanks for chiming in. All right, got you, Jay. Thanks, Jay. Maybe I won't get a phaser then because it must be working. And four differentials, three sets of axle, two bar, and a partridge in a pear tree. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. No, Mike, I wasn't. I wasn't. It was phase limited. So when we were putting the forged engine together, I called MMX, and they said it was designed to be limited, not locked. So I know Mac chimed in down below here soon, but yeah, we're going with a new cam and lock it out. Timothy, yeah, that's yeah, good idea. While you're in there doing all that, put the long tubes on too. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, you're kicking me in the head, Hugh. Absolutely, yeah. When RT Life did his stuff, they shut off. They got rid of VVT. 3.0 Whipple twin turbo Trackhawk. It's just the stuff they're doing nowadays is just crazy. Um, you get that Whipple running until the turbos take over. Yeah, those Trackhawks are no joke, man. There's some fast Trackhawks out there. Correct on the phase. My body mind. Correct on the phaser, even when it's even limited. If it's turned off, it won't be able to make an adjustment. Gotcha. Actually, I only had my 270 was limited because we literally took the limiter and just moved it over to the new engine. So yeah, even when I had the 270, it was limited. Now if the clock spring has broken, that's a different story. See, Mike, now you got me wanting to buy a face. A whole new phaser. I may just do it anyway. It's just to rule it out. All right, good job, Alex. Do them long tubes too. All right, Jay's talking to Mike. Eric, good evening, brother. Hope you're having a good day. So there you go. I forget who asked the question, but yeah, doing a Hellcat engine swap. Hey, go for it. Mike still trying to push Ant into doing Holly. Holly is out. The Holly and the non-Hemi support, that's for sure. All right. Timothy and Ant's going back and forth. Bruce is talking about looking for 6.4s. Lorenzo, arm flex, love it. Somebody will wreck a Durango or Trackhawk, and then you just pick it up on Copart. Yeah, Eric, I did say Shake and Bake is down. Ordering a new cam today. Hopefully it'll be in. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes the cam to get here. So now it's a parts problem. Waiting for the parts to get here. That's the long story short. We're having issues. We're switching cams from a limited cam to a lock cam, and locking out VVT. I got you. I got you, Bruce. Yep. That's not bad with trans. 13 to 15K for a Hellcat engine in HP90. That's not bad. Yeah, Jay, that's what I said. My 270 was limited. There's my boy Mac. Thanks for chiming in, brother. I appreciate it. Mac knows exactly what's going on. Like I said, I've said this 100 times. I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a tuner, and I'm not an engine builder. So when it comes to the specific stuff, that's when I turn to Mike, Ant, Jay, Mac. I turn to those guys because they have way more experience than me. That cam will probably lose bottom end power. I think you're talking about the 270, I think, Mike. Yeah, Mac, sooner or later I'm going F1A94. Now, Mike, you're telling me to throw more boost at it, and I told you I was going to drop to a 3.2 from a 3.6 to a 3.2, and you told me it's just going to make more heat, not more boost. We are going to throw the 3.2 pulley on there eventually. By the way, the 3.2 pulley is coming. Hugh, if you lock the cam, lose power, add more nitrous. All right, I got you. Area under the curve equals real power. That's for sure, Timothy. You got a great point there. This thing keeps jumping on me. Jay's talking to Bruce. Worst case, the PCM, BCM causing that. Yeah, if that's the case, that's terrible. Hopefully, that's not the case. Jay saying the bottom end will fall off. I'm going to pick up more up top, especially at the boost level he's running. So locking is the way to go. We're going there. It's just I'm not putting the 270 in there. I'm getting Mac to do a custom cam. Yeah, Alex. Like I said, you can do the cam now. I would just get it all done now, and then that way you're not having them crack the engine twice. Um, yeah, I would just have them do it now while they're in there. Just put the cam in there now. NA wise, it depending on the grind of your cam. If your cam is a grind that supports boosted application, you may lose a little bit here and there being NA, but once you put your boost on there, you're ready. You're done. So I would go ahead and get the cam done now. It's not the fact that I'm boosted. Well, let me back up on that. It's probably exacerbated because I am boosted. The problem I'm having now, but yeah, I would go ahead and do your cam. If you already have the cam, do it now. And then, like I said, that way you're only cracking the engine open one time to do the rods, pistons, and the cam. Vice doing your rods and pistons now and doing your cam later. I'm one. This is just me. The more times you crack open an engine, that's more times you have to make a mistake or miss something or forget something. So I would do everything all at once. Bruce says, do it to my all right, Bruce. Yeah, Timothy, that's what I'm saying. Let her rip on NA, and like I said, then like I said, if your cam's ground for a boosted application, once you add the boost, you're already ready. Track season over on Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm coming to the end of the season too. We'll see how many track days we get in. I want to say MIR goes to the close to the end of November, right around Thanksgiving is when they close. We'll see what happens with Cecil. Cecil and maybe even Capital. We'll see how long they stay open. But yeah, track season is definitely coming to an end. All right, Bruce is talking to Jay. Oh gosh. Now we're trying to see how many people break stuff between Jay and Ant. Bruce, Sunday's it for South Mountain. All right. All right, Ant and Jay are going back and forth here. Eric, what cam am I looking at now? Just a custom grind from Mac. He's doing one of his. I'm gonna let him do one of his custom grinds, and we're gonna lock it out, and we're gonna see what happens. Phaser set to stun. All right, Ant, I hear you. Jay, yeah, Jay's going through some engines. And you're killing me. You're killing me. Oh gosh, I didn't even start this video. Um, yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh, crazy. So I did redo the entire. Everything in the timing set is new. Chain, gears, all of that. All the timing stuff is new, Mike. No, Jay, we swapped the one over from my old engine. We swapped the one over from my old engine. And is definitely crazy. There's no doubt about that. All right, Mac. Speaking of cam swaps, wow, that's crazy. I hit a cam swap video. Yeah, I got you, Jay. All right, Bruce. Hey, good luck with that cam, buddy. Yeah, Jay, I don't think it's going to be here before next week. I don't think they're going to get it here in a week. That would be amazing if they could get it in a week. Hey, we got a new subscriber, man. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're in the chat or not, but we're on the live. I appreciate it. It's a 3-4 cam. All right, Mac. All right, Jay, go what you need to do, man. Take care of the fam. That's what it's all about. I got you, Jay. Is there a difference between Molly and Manly forged rotating assemblies? I'm thinking of going with Manly. Yeah, I don't have any experience with with those. I mean, I've got gosh, Molly pistons. I have to go back and look now. It's Molly pistons and Eagle rods. Um, but hopefully someone down below Brandon has some experience with that. Armani RT, you know it, buddy. Buy once, cry once. All right. Jay's talking to Brandon. Mike is going to try an FRP cam. Probably wouldn't. Widowmaker. All right. Hey, yeah. Flying Ryan. He does some good stuff from what I've seen. All right, night, Bruce. I know you got to get up super early, man. Go get some sleep, brother. For sure, Mike. For sure. Yeah, Ant is a troublemaker, man. He's the instigator of the group. Z, what's going on, brother? Thanks for chiming in. Appreciate it. Jimmy, what's going on, brother? I definitely next year I'm gonna find my way to to do a drag and drive event. I definitely need to do that. I definitely need to do one of those. All right, Eric. Yeah, Mac's a great dude, man. 100%. Mac and Dave both. Yeah, Z Texas Speed would be an option, but I already ordered the cam today, trying to get it in here as fast as possible. You know the deal. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, man. It's free. Don't cost you nothing. Don't cost me nothing. Hit that thumbs up. Oh, Max tossing his opinion on Texas Speed. I'll just leave it at that. That's true. I haven't seen very many people go with Texas Speed cams. Doesn't in Boosted Lucky? Doesn't he have a Texas Speed cam, or does he have Texas Speed long tube headers? I can't remember. I know he's got a couple things from Texas Speed. Yeah, comp or cam motion. I'm with you, Jay. Brandon comp all day. All right. Eric's talking to Mac. Yeah, Jay, I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do some drag and drive events next year. I just got to find them and get signed up quick enough to where I can. Mac, I'm just in the business, and I don't feel need to trash people to make money. Most feel the need to do the most, but their cams ain't. I got you, Mac. Yeah, Jay, you got a point, man. You're right. His head is big enough. There's no you don't need to you don't need to make his head any bigger. That's for sure. Man, I got to rewatch my own video here so I can be prepared when I go down to Fredericksburg and have to change my own cam. Brandon loving the comp stage 3 HRT in the Charger. Nice. Jay's just mad because you're always right. You know it, Mac. You know it, buddy. Uh, Jimmy's going to the Rocky Mountain Drag Week next year. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and do some of them. I don't know which ones I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try to get into something because I want to do some drag and drives, man. They look like a lot of fun. Mike Hauser, man, I appreciate the super chat, man. That's awesome. I definitely appreciate it. You know the deal. It's going right back into Shake and Bake. Actually, it's gonna go back into Mac's pocket this time. It's not going into Mike's pocket, Mike Stark's pocket this time. It's going into Mac's pocket this time to help pay for that new cam and getting it retuned on that new cam. But hey, man, I definitely appreciate 100% the super chat. You know all that. What I do get back from YouTube off of the super chat is going to go right back into Shake and Bake. Eric, the beard is flawless too. Oh gosh, here we go. See, he likes Texas speed headers, so not all things Texas speed are bad. Jay, Brandon, any numbers on that cam? I'm looking at it or going back to stage 2. All right, Jay. Max going back at Jay. All right, Jay. Oh, you know what? A matter of fact, this is when Mike couldn't have people in the shop, and and his wife was in there helping doing my cam swap. And this is when I bought the wrong cam too. So so I bought a non VVT cam, and the car was VVT. So this was and I still paid Mike for all the work that he did, because it was my fault because I ordered the wrong cam. Just dumb mistake. Redwood Rally was the best week I've ever had racing. Tiring as hell, but absolutely worth it. Jimmy, kick me up on Instagram when you sign up for a couple of these things, man. I wouldn't mind doing Rocky Mountain Race Week. That would be cool. I'm not sure where Redwood Rally is, but you know me, I like to travel. So Jimmy, when you hit these things next year, man, hit me up in when you sign up for them, hit me up on Instagram so I can try and get in there. Mac, you know it's always Stark's fault. No matter what, we always pin it on Stark somehow. See, this is where he messed up. Right there. There's where he messed up. He messed up my phaser right there. See, oh, he laid it on the teeth. That's what happened. See, Mike messed this up 2 years ago. That's what happened. Yeah, definitely gonna do that. Might absolutely get a small trailer and some spare parts for sure. Brandon went from 357 to 430. Hey, that's awesome, Brandon. That's good stuff. Yeah, Jimmy, you know I can pack shake and bake. we can I can fit a lot of stuff in shake and bake. But yeah, I think having a trailer would be a lot easier. Jay's talking back to Brandon. Hughes got dual overhead cams. I'm missing something but not doing cam swaps. I got you. Yeah, Mac, I'd love to hit Bristol. Like I said, I got my wife and I have a cabin about 30-35 minutes, but yeah, it's definitely a beautiful track out there for sure. No, Jay, just for the season, closing for the season. Where's Stark? He's what time is it? Man, it's only 10 minutes to 10. He's still at the shop working. That's true. It is Wednesday. He is babysitting. You're right. You're right, Aunt. He is. He's babysitting. He's looking. Yeah, Stark's probably looking at IG or porn, one or the other. Jay's talking to Mike and make Mac my co-pilot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no kidding, Mike. You can stuff a lot of stuff in the trunk. That's for sure. Brandon, it's definitely easier to tune than the 274s as they advertise good lope separation. Hey, I got you, Brandon. I heard a lot of people having problems with the 274s. Yeah, yeah. I forgot there for a second. I remember Wednesday's an early day for him because he's got baby duty. Yeah, we'll look at getting a trailer, I think. Spare trans, engine, clutch, drive shaft, and tools to make it happen. That's a lot to carry, Jay. That's a lot to carry. Mac, no original opinion on using a velocity stack on an NA57 setup. Just having no experience at all doing velocity stacks on an NA. They're actually cheap. You can get them off of freaking Amazon. So I would just do it and see what you think. I would say it couldn't hurt. Arguably, it would probably force some extra air in there. Yeah, I say give it a shot and see what happens. All right, Mac. Yeah, I know my car's a problem. Should have took pictures of your load plan. No kidding. I know, Jimmy. You know what? I'm gonna have to build one now. I'm gonna have to build one. Eric's talking to Mac. Jay's talking to Brandon. Mac is out of here. All right, Jay, you going up there on Friday? All right. See, Mac agrees with me. Velocity stacks are good when done right. So yeah, Mac Nova, I say put one put one on there and take it to the track. And matter of fact, if you wanted to, you could take it to the track, do a run without the velocity stack, and then do a run with the velocity stack and just compare them. All right, Jay saying he doesn't think it'll do much. I just say do it and just do a comparison, one with, one without, and see what happens. All right. Brandon's talking back to Jay. No problem, Nova. That's why I do this, man. I say this every week. We're always answering people's questions, man. We're always, and like I said, there's plenty of experience, especially when the IG guys show up. Jay is a usual, Ant's a usual, Wide Body Mike is a usual, Mike Hauser is a usual. Mac jumps in every once in a while. There's plenty of experience out there. That if I don't have any experience or I don't have an answer, 99% of the time, one of those other guys have an answer. So, and that's why I leave this. That's why I leave this open chat. Jay's talking back to Brandon. All right, Jimmy, I'll check it out, man. Once I get back on the phone or on the iPad, I'll check it out. So that one you just did then is in California. That's interesting. All right. Night, Eric. Have a good night, buddy. We'll see you next week. All right, Lorenzo. We'll see you next week, buddy. Have a great night. Okay, so you go most Fridays. All right. Brandon's talking back to Jay. It's the only drag and drive on the West Coast. Interesting, man. Yeah, like I said, Jimmy, hit me up on Instagram when you start signing up for these, and I'll try and sign up for them too. And hopefully, we get to run into each other, and we can just be drag and drive buddies in Colorado and California. Yeah, Jimmy, I appreciate it, man. Hook me up, brother. Hook a brother up. Hook a brother up. Mike, of course, now I have a Scat 2. I'm impressed in the time differences between my RT and Scat according to the dash gauges, anyways. Yeah, Scat packs are you know we've talked about Scat packs before. You know, right out of the showroom floor, a Scat pack is a pretty formidable car, man. Um, and literally, you throw a tire on a Scat, and you're looking, you know, high 11s. We've had one um, uh, Chip. He's gone 11. I want to say 1158 in his car with a tire. So yeah, Scat Pack, Scat Pack is no joke right out the gate for sure. Jimmy, I appreciate it, buddy. 100%, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know the deal. Us officers, man, we wouldn't be able to survive without good chiefs and NCOs. 100%. You know the deal, Jimmy. Jay, Dragon Drive in November down in Carolinas. The only thing, it's 8th Mile. We don't know how much I dislike 8th Mile racing. You and me both. I don't like 8th Mile racing either. But arguably that may be a good deal to shake and bake to get her really dialed in on the front half, and that's where I'm having my problem right there in the front half. So yeah, yeah, absolutely, Mike, and that's nah, don't get me wrong, that's in pretty good weather. We're talking probably negative. I can't remember what the DA was, but I'm sure it was probably, you know, negative 500, anywhere from 500, negative 500 to negative 1500. So it was in really good weather, but I'm pretty sure, uh, you know, one of you IG guys, uh, Jay, Mike, and I'm pretty sure he ran an 1158 on a tire on his stock Hellcat. But like I said, that was in really, pretty sure it was in really really good weather. But you also got to remember Chip weighs a buck 25 soaking wet. so so Chip's a pretty skinny guy. Thanks, Jimmy, man. I appreciate it, brother. All right, we're creeping up on that 10 o'clock. Things are starting to slow down. Mike, I'm double this way. Actually, I think Chip's like 150, 155. I think he said he was somewhere around in there anyway. I think I was a little short when I said 125. I think he's like 150. But yeah, yeah. And that's true. Ant did run 1161 with his scat pack. So yeah, scat packs off the showroom floor. You know, you throw a tire on them, they're no joke. But hashtag scat pack life, you know it, Jimmy. You know the deal, Jimmy. But hey, we are coming right up on that 10 o'clock. I know I started a little later than I usually do. Usually I'm about 9:55, 9:57. But hey, I appreciate everyone supporting the channel, you know, watching the videos, participating in the Wednesday night lives. You know, you guys know we always have a good time. It is past my bedtime. It is past my bedtime. I got a pretty important appointment first thing in the morning that I got to hit too. So I got to get up early as well. So us old people, it's tough to get up early once you get old. I'm telling you. Mike, I know what I'm ordering. I think it's. I think you might be able to go with 17s. And one of you guys chime in. Smallest tire you can put on a scat with the 4 piston Brembos. I think you can get a 17 on there if I'm not mistaken. I think you get into problems when you have the 6 piston Brembos. Then you got to go 18. All right, shiny smooth 17s. That's what I thought. No problem, Bubbity. But again, we're at that 10 o'clock. I appreciate everyone chiming in. I appreciate everyone again participating on the Wednesday nights, chiming in the chat, asking the questions, keeping me rolling for an hour. It is tough to just keep rattling my gums for an hour. But I appreciate it, Mike. I appreciate the super chat 100%. That's awesome. I really do appreciate it. Whenever we run into each other one time, I owe you a couple beers. But that's gonna do it for this, folks. We'll be here next week, same time. Unless my cam comes in, then I may be putting my cam in, but I don't think it's gonna get. I don't think it's gonna come in that fast. But if it does, I'll let you know and make sure everyone knows we're not going live next Wednesday. But the plan is to go live next Wednesday, and we'll come up with some filler videos and we'll go from there. But that's it for tonight, folks. Appreciate y'all again. Until next time, adios.